Students, if you're new to class, my name is Professor Lando, and today we're learning about fursonas. It's kind of in the name. Persona plus fur linguistics. What exactly is a fursona? Well, I'll tell you, this comes from Wikipedia. Okay. A fursona is a personally disclaimed persona resembling an anthropomorphic animal. Do you know what anthropomorphic is, Blake? What does that mean?
I have no idea. Anthropomorphic sounds something brutal. Sounds like maybe animals that eat other animals.
Some of them do. Oh. Anthropomorphic. Anthro meaning man. Pomorphic, change, to change. So basically it's saying animals given qualities of humans, of man. Namely being upright, usually on two legs, having some sort of hands. You know, usually animals are on the ground like this, on all fours, hunched over. You know, they have an animal brain, run on animal instincts. They lack having a human brain. So when we say anthropomorphize, they're upright, and they and they can think. They are human. They have human traits. They have intelligence. They can talk.
Interesting.
So
you toast
Blake, do you know who these characters are right here?
I need
These are characters from X.
I actually don't recall.
Asterisk, the newly released real-time turn-based hybrid 3D RPG game. The player can delve into the world of a Lando and embark on a wondrous interstellar adventure. Players will take on the role of the main characters of X Asterisk, Yan, V, and Manganese. Tasked with unraveling the secrets of the long-lost Alindish civilization.
That was genius. Oh my god.
The astromorphs that inhabit this alien planet. In X Asterisk, players can create teams of up to 3 characters with different character combinations. Players can also use obscuring maneuvers to parry or dodge enemy attacks. And this right here is one of the coolest things about.
Wait, there's a lesson about Ahegao? Because he coveted an NTR.
Out X Asterisk, because basically what this means is that unlike traditional turn-based games, you're able to make moves to dodge and parry your enemy's attacks during their turn, as well as combo moves with your allies. Additionally, to celebrate the launch of X Asterisk, Griffline invites its community to join When the Land Meets the Stars, a special X Asterisk Arknights crossover event full of fun surprises and exclusive in-game cosmetics for players. Head over to the official event page to link your account and get the crossover attire, and Arknight Doctors can get theirs at the same event page as well. Right, students, you can check out X Asterisk on the Apple and Google Play Store by clicking the link in the description. Let me know what you think, and thank you again to X Asterisk for sponsoring today's lecture. I guess. A fursona is a personally disclaimed persona resembling an anthropomorphic animal adopted by a member of the furry fandom. Fursonas can provide numerous roles for the creator, whether it be idealized versions of their adopter, fleshed out role-play characters, and or digital mascot. So that was a very all-encompassing definition. So Blake, based on what I just said, what do you think that meant? What is a fursona?
Got to be just a person, right? That likes to just dress up maybe as their favorite animal, and they maybe wear suits, and then they walk on all 4 legs if they want to. They might bark, they might bite.
Hopefully.
Something around that area.
So you have basically the mainstream normie understanding of furries and fursonas. You imagine them putting on the costume, and I guess you implied they role play to some degree as a thing. But you know, that is the surface level description of what furries might be doing. Not all of them, but what is at its core?
It's a ghost feral over here.
When you see someone wearing the costume, let's say a dog. Well, what is that really? What are they projecting? What are they sending out to the public? What are they showing everyone? What at its core is this depiction that you are seeing? That is what we're getting into today. That is a fursona.
OC, original character.
What are those letters?
That's Orange County, Professor.
What the fuck?
OC. OC.
Like, my character is an original character.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good,
Blake. A+.
OC. Original character. Very
overclocking. Fair. It's also
understanding what a fursona is. So, original character is often tied to media fandoms, could possibly be completely original. This is a character that people within the community, artists, or perhaps you can commission an artist to draw something.
I have a lot
for you,
of
or
original
you can sketch
characters.
something out yourself. You as an individual, in the fandom mostly, create your own character that would fit generally in that media's universe. For the example,
it can
of
be your
Sonic
own
the
universe as
Hedgehog.
well.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It doesn't need to be in the fandom.
You know what that is?
That's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog, one of my favorite medias. Sonic is a character within Sonic the Hedgehog, the IP of Sonic the Hedgehog. But let's say I am an individual who likes Sonic the Hedgehog, and I have a desire to explore the media in a more personable way. So for me, I might create a original character. A character that is not canonical within the universe of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Such a nice touch,
but my own character that I put into the universe. Why don't we
nearly as
do
cool
this in
as-
practice, Blake? Let's you and I create an original character, an OC.
Sonic, chill,
Sonic
fuck's
OC
sake, yeah.
right now as a live demonstration. So, what do you know about Sonic?
So I know Sonic, he's quick, he's fast, he's blue, he's got a buddy named Tails. Very good personality.
He
I like his
collects
personality a lot.
rings.
You know a lot about Sonic.
Yeah, dude, I learned a lot from you, man. That's your guy.
That is my guy.
We talk about him quite a bit.
We need an animal. In Sonic, there's Tails,
He's a
it's a
fox.
Yeah.
Knuckles is an echidna, kind of like an armadillo, kind of like a hedgehog, I don't really know. There's Rouge the bat, Big the cat, Sally Acorn, I think she's a squirrel of some kind.
I don't even know
Do they have a
her.
bunny, though? Is there a
Yes. One of the most popular types of furries are hybrids. I'm talking about fursonas that are maybe like, it's somewhere between a wolf and a dog. It's like a wolfy creature, not strictly a wolf, not strictly a dog, or maybe like something that is akin to a cat and a fox. Any sort of mix, maybe dragon and wolf. Like you can get.
When I actually bought the Sonic Shoe pendants, I saw the recommended video. I thought about watching the video with you guys, but it's 30 minutes long, and I don't know if it would have been a good watch overall. I don't know.
Crazy, more diverse
Like, as in a good watch as a reaction video. That's what I mean.
mixtures. Dragon, shark.
Echidnas have
kinda
4 penis
scaly
heads? What
shark
the
and
fuck?
Dog, wolf, dog, shark. I've seen wolf, shark. Like they're. So I think wolves and hybrids kind of compete. Blake, what things are scaly?
They do
We're
what
talking
the
about like reptiles, maybe some snakes, alligators,
There's a big one.
lizards.
dragons.
Big.
Dragons!
Like skull. Dragon.
There we go.
Dragon.
There we go. Dragon. These nuts on your face. Gotcha. So we have a very basic interpretation of what a scaly might look like.
Sure.
So when we talk about fursonas, one large category, a very seemingly, perhaps you would think, oh, maybe this like doesn't really make sense, like reptiles, lizards. That doesn't seem like something that people would generally find fondness for. So I'm a big fan of scalies because of that sort of dichotomy between them. We have here a popular depiction of not exactly a fursona, but an anthropological reptile scaly.
But what about when they shed? You know, their skin, it's gonna get everywhere. Who's cleaning that? I'm not cleaning that up. Are you cleaning that up?
You mean like the lizard, the scales when they shed?
Yeah.
I think that might be a cathartic experience for the two of you. Imagine, you know, it's very difficult. You see these animals in the wild, like snakes, having to like rub up to get their old shed skin off. But you could help them, and maybe that's sort of a bonding experience.
Oh my god. Imagine that being just role played as an intimate fucking experience kind of thing. Ugh! Ew! But I wouldn't imagine fucking anthropomorphic? Is that how you say it? Dragons to be shedding their skins like this. Bet a lot of the costumes for that have scales that don't
Someone
shed.
is really into this stuff, huh? Lando has some explaining to do, Kek.
You know, you can get it there and just like. What does that say, Blake?
Avian.
Avian. Something like
Avian.
this. This might be an
Birds.
example of like a bird fursona. Avian. I feel maybe perhaps a little less common. I don't think I see this one being.
I've seen actually some sick quote-unquote fursuits for birds. There were some really sick ones that people have made. I've seen I think, a post on Twitter or something for that. Really, really sick looking.
Popular as I see.
Like, I know a lot of people just meme on fursuits, and there are some really weird looking fursuits, but there are some really fucking sick ass looking suits that look insane. What kind of sick? Just like amazing kind of sick, you know? Sick or sick? Sick. Like amazing sort of thing. Thanks, Amani. Let me see. Bird fursuit? I don't know. Like some really sick looking ones. Like, in the senses of this, I guess, but it's none of these here. This one is also cooler. Like, this one is definitely also cooler. Like, compared to this. This is literally just goofy ass. This is just a costume. This is not a fursuit, right? There were some really sick ones. This is more on the goofy side. Wait, I am covering it. Like, this is more on the goofy side. This is not what I'm referring to. Like, this is not what I'm referring to. Some really sick looking ones. I don't see it. The wings on this one are pretty sick. The wings on this one are pretty cool. But this is not what I'm talking about. I can't find it. I don't know who made it or anything either. Oh, this one looks cool. Kind of. This is the Pokemon, isn't it? Isn't this Falcon? This looks like the fucking Falcon Pokemon. Is that a Zubat? What the fuck is this? Wait, this kind of looks like the bat from Anastasia? Wait, this kind of looks like the bat from Anastasia? Anastasia bat? Maybe not. Well, I guess the pig nose was there. I guess the pig nose was there. I guess the pig nose.
Wolves, dogs, even scalies.
I'm not a big bird guy. Yeah, you know, I could see why wolf and dog are the most popular, but birds.
Maybe it was a Zubat,
it's hard for me to get. I love the fact that they fly. You know, the fact that they can just poop anywhere, even on your car or your head if the need be. But
oh my god, that just reminded me of the Crow game that was shown off at the OTK game show. Where you play as a freaking crow and you can just poop on people and you can eat hot peppers and poop fire on people. Oh my god, I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I'm not a big bird guy.
Birds lay
eggs.
Okay.
Do you change your mind now?
What?
This one's pretty straightforward, Blake.
How's the game called? I'm not sure. Wait. Let me. Okay, chat. Let me. Crow game OTK. Just crow things. There it is. That's the one. Just crow things. Oh, crow? I don't know how to pronounce this. Just crow things? How do you pronounce crow? Crow? Crow. Translator.
Crow.
Crow. Sorry. Crow it is. Creo.
Crow.
Crow. Crow. Okay, I'll try to remember that.
Insects. Bugs, as they would like to say.
Yes. I see a lot of words being thrown out.
I don't think I've ever seen an
exos
insect
as an
persona.
exoskeleton.
To be fair, a matarakan is a cockroach, if I remember correctly, so that's that.
A buggy. Buggies, maybe. I've seen a lot of words thrown out. I'm not really sure. A key example, I think. One example being a moth.
Oh no.
I see moths as a very popular form of an insect persona. What we would call exactly a buggy, a bug, essentially. Not as prevalent as wolves.
Scarecrow.
Scalies. I mean, I think I see the avians way more than I see insects. And when I do, I feel it's mostly moths. But it's cute at the same time. I think maybe there's something to do about the contrast of how maybe generally insects, mandibles, and like maybe they're kind of gross.
Dude, I hate
usually,
insects. I hate them so much. They're so creepy.
That sort of contrast and bringing it into a more cute depiction, into a more digestible depiction. So moving on. I know there's a myriad of other specific persona
if you're lucky,
categories.
they might eat you after.
I want to talk about one that we glossed over in the previous discussion about personas, and that is one on protogens. Most of this
now?
information is coming from Know Your Meme. Part organic, part machine.
Oh. Does that
Key
really
features,
count
they
as
are
a
generally
fursona?
anthropomorphic in nature, maybe resembling something akin to a mixture of a raptor, dragon-like,
yes, I guess.
cyborg robotic creature. Let me draw you a depiction of maybe a generic protogen you might see. Okay, so this is a very particular, very specific species of fursona, and it is called the protogen. And again, it is generally
Protogen. We need to do our research, chat. Protogen. Yeah, this purple one I think is the most known one. I feel like I've seen this one around quite a lot. Like this one right here. To be honest, I do think they look kind of cute. Not cute, cool. Oops. I do think they look kind of cool. Like, honestly, they do be kind of cool. Like, I like raptors, right? And this, I guess, kind of cool. Can definitely be cool. I see the appeal. I see the appeal.
depicted as a sort of almost raptor-like silhouette,
like
kind
raptors,
of a mix between maybe something you see, like a wolf or maybe a scaly.
Like
the key thing here are the
like
very obvious
raptors are my
characteristics
favorite.
of it being part organic and part machine,
dinosaurs,
perhaps mainly machine. Have you ever seen RoboCop?
No.
So do you know who RoboCop is?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought?
Oh?
So I think
What
a lot
just
of us have.
Dusty_nuts_ gifted 5 subscriptions to
you!
the community.
Thank you so much for the 5! Dusty Nuts, what a name!
Seen something like
Thank
this.
you, I
Kind of reminds me of like a
appreciate that.
Digimon maybe. But a protogen. Pay attention. Again, this comes from Know Your Meme. The Primagen.
I don't.
I'm
not sure if I ever watched
I have no
RoboCop.
idea about any of this. There is a fursona referred to as the Primagen, not protogen. The Primagen.
Okay.
Which is the precursor to the protogen.
Okay.
It is a closed species invented by the fur affinity user known as Malus Risu.
Oh, the closed species, man. Closed species are such it's such a huge argument. There's so many pros and cons to closed species.
Closed species. What does this mean? Nobody.
Here's some more cheesy lore. I once was talking with a girl who was super attractive and absolutely my type, and we were hitting it off really well until she asked me to grab something out of the top of a closet, and buried in the corner was a realistic wolf head. I then realized she was a furry and stopped talking to her. I'm way more open to people's hobbies now, and I realized I fumbled the bag. Aww. Aww. Maybe she tried showing you it there without like coming out as a furry herself. I mean, I guess back then, it was for the best to just like break it off at the time being, since you didn't quite understand it then, and you wouldn't have been able to understand it. Like, yeah, in hindsight, as you said, you realize you fumbled the bag, but hey, gotta come to learn now better than never.
Else.
It's okay, we learn from our mistakes.
Supposedly, technically allowed to make variants of this species. They created this and they said, anyone who makes and draws their own protogen is not official. It doesn't count. It's illegal.
Wow.
You can only commission protogens from the source code, purchase them via an auction or something. Reportedly, there are auctions of protogen for.
Like, I get the appeal, but I also like. There's so many cons and pros of closed species. I just don't want to get into it.
Personas can go as high as $1,200.
Dude, wow.
Like, there's so many pros and cons.
Illegal protogens, as in, like, I'm just a random person out there and I create when I draw one. Oh, they're technically illegal. It's supposedly looked down upon. The creator does not want these to exist. Of course, people.
You don't understand what's a closed species? Professor Lando literally just explained it. It's Okay, a closed species is basically, as you said, the primogen, where, like, in the fandom of whichever, in this example, the furry fandom, people make their own species. And this, for example, the primogen, which will never be a protogen, from what I understood. The primogen is a quote-unquote species that has certain characteristics that defines the species at itself. It's a closed species where random user X couldn't just quote-unquote make one and called it a primogen because the fandom would frown upon that and they would hunt the person down by all rights and shit like that.
Thank you for the stream, Kitsu. I take
you
my
for
leave
hanging
now.
out.
Have fun for the rest of the stream.
You
Here
too.
is a bit more of funding for
Oh,
your
fuck's sake.
magical machine.
Not the machine. Not the fucking machine. I still don't understand. It's something. It's a closed species that people make their original characters for. It's a closed original character species, basically. Okay, what exactly do you not understand? The term that it's closed? Or, like, what do you not understand by it? Like, I can try explaining it better if you, like, tell me what you don't quite understand behind it. The part that it's a closed thing, it's closed because they just don't want other people to make a species of that. It's, I'm a furry cyborg. I need a minigun in hand which can also vibrate, bruh. Closed species. What's the deal with closed species? Here, let's ask Reddit. Let's ask Reddit. Closed species are species that people close off because they're either being harassed about their open species or they close it to make a quick cash grab. It limits artists' creative freedom. So what if I draw a dog that's a cinnamon bun? Why the fuck am I forced to pay for it? I think it's just assholes gatekeeping innocent artists from having their freedom. That's one piece. In my honest opinion, it's all dumbassery until they're trying to protect IP rights for the exclusively sell merch or franchise. Those species are unique creatures that someone puts a lot of time, thought, energy, and skill into. The whole species is no different from your individual persona. It means something to that creator, and it means something to that creator, and they want to keep their species pure. It is their decision as the species is theirs. It isn't a matter of legality, and I'm not an expert on copyright law, so I can't speak to the aspect. It's more about respect for our artists and their creations. If a species is open or semi-open, they may have a few guidelines that the creator wants you to follow if you want to make your own, since the creator of the species has been generous enough to share their creation with others. The very least one could do is follow a few rules. For closed species, that is also the creator's choice to make. Too many forget that many artists in this fandom make their living with their art, as in this is how they eat, pay rent, and keep their lights on. Whether it's a commission, your character here adopt, or selling their species, they are trying to earn a living. Clearly, many are fine with this arrangement, as these species sell very well. If you don't want to or can't pay for species, there are literally millions of other species to choose from. You will obviously do what you want. I just have a great respect for our artists, so I don't mind abiding by the rules. You can still make an amazing unique sonar under their guidelines, and truth, those who say, whatever, I'll do what I want, are extremely whiny and entitled in my eyes. No one owes you their species. There. I think that's a pretty good statement regarding this. This is a pretty good statement regarding this. My argument is that you shouldn't limit artists' creativity just because you came up with the concept. Fan art can be amazing, and I think we shouldn't discourage that. I do see a point and recognize its value, though I can't help but disagree. What's this person's point on this anyway? Have you recently seen some very IRL about a design being illegal because it's a closed species? Me, having never heard of this term, I decided to look it up, and holy hell was I surprised. In my opinion, trying to claim people cannot draw your design or create fan art using your closed species is flat out ridiculous. Fan art clearly is fair use, and even then, maybe just ask people politely to refer you as the one who came up with the design. I really don't see the issue other people... Okay, what the other person explained is pretty good regarding that in the end people are trying to make a living off it. That's the whole gist of it in the end. I understand both terms on their own, but I don't get them together. My specialty has to do with biology, so I think species, I always think in terms of biology, so close doesn't make sense to me. It's, in the end, just a sort of a species, a sort of, let's replace the term species with animal. In the end, it's not an animal, but it's like a design. It's a design for a species that people can make things under. Where in this lore can we fit in Sonic and Sonic Shoe lore? Okay, a species, as an example, would be Pokemon, I guess? Private design, then? Yeah, I guess, kind of. Kind of private design. Pokemon would be too wide, I think. Pokemon has too many designs to be considered this. To be considered a comparison. I don't think Pokemon is a good comparison, but yeah, like a private design kind of thing. Helen, what in the god names are you doing in /furry? We were explaining closed species. Additionally, closed species has no legal standing. They cannot do anything about it, so they resort to harassing people and doxing, which is actually illegal. Yes, that is also true, that has happened. That has also happened. That is a truth and not a good... But let's return to the video. Let's return to the video.
Are obviously going to go and
let's go back a bit.
And part machine, perhaps as the primogen, not protogen, the primogen, which is the precursor to the protogen. It is a closed species invented by the fur affinity user known as Malus Risu. Closed species. What does this mean? Nobody else besides the creator is supposedly technically allowed to make variants of this species. They created this and they said, anyone who makes and draws their own protogen is not official. It doesn't count. It's illegal. You can only commission...
saying that it's illegal, it's not actually illegal. People just use it as a term illegal. It's not, in fact, illegal because usually, the species is not a copyrighted thing. That's not common for those closed species to be copyrighted. But within the fandom, it is frowned upon to be just quote-unquote stealing a species or a species design.
Protogens from the source code, purchase them via an auction or something. Reportedly, their auctions of protogen fursonas can go as high as $1,200.
Jesus!
Wow.
Illegal protogens, as in, like, I'm just a random person out there and I create, when I draw one, oh, they're technically illegal. It's supposedly looked down upon. The creator does not want these to exist. Of course, people are obviously going to go and do it. It's time to...
Random question, isn't saying something is legal only when paying an illegal thing? I don't understand the question, sorry.
Make your first...
What do you mean?
Oh, baby.
Pick a species.
So, I'm a cat guy, so let's
You're a cat guy.
Let's stick with cats.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like the cats. Let's just go with it. Let's make it an orange cat.
Okay, you want to be...
So can I make a Loot Super Solidaire of Mickey Mouse who wears only a speedo? That would be an original character, so yes. In the end, that's not a closed species. Closed species are usually species from people within the fandom itself. Literally gatekeeping protogens to authorized artists that could charge an arm and a leg. In the end, it's as the person had said, it's something that person has come up, something that means to the artist, and it's something in the end that the artist is trying to make a living off. And I think the least we can do is respect our fellow artists, really. And as of recent, I mean, we had the entire Fillion discussion as well, chat. Chat, we had the entire Fillion discussion as well. It's not hard to make an original design that still looks somewhat similar. Also, like, for example, Neurosummer. Neurosummer used the original, the VTuber model, the VTube Studio model, but Vito commissioned someone to make it look similar but not be the same. And the same is for Doki Bird. Bird's new model includes features of her own model and her old Niji Sanji model. Fleon's case is different though because it is a specific design of the whole genre. I meant this as a comparison in regards of making something that looks similar but is different enough. Like, it's making something that is similar but inherently different. Like, if you really wanted to have that particular species that someone has created, that you want a character in that species, fucking pay the artist. Pay the artist for it. Or make something that is similar, but it's not the same. Make something original. Isn't the artist for the new Doki model the same as the Niji one? It is, yes. She commissioned her. She wanted her to be a proud mama. Because she felt like she couldn't have given her much as a VTuber daughter back then. It's a difference between me making a Foxgirl VTuber model and me taking Kitsu's model and changing the outfit. Yeah. Depends on what the species entails. Like, everything that's a cyborg, a furry. What? Thought they were trying to gatekeep what's a legit proto-gen. It was the Prima-gen, I think, they were trying to quote-unquote gatekeep, from what I understood. Like, I don't know anything about Prima-gens and proto-gens apart from what Professor Lando is explaining here. And at the start of this discussion, I said I didn't want to get into it, and now here we are. You see, it's a very, very huge topic with so many pros and so many cons, where in the end, I just don't have an opinion in either direction. So if we as a community make a Foxgirl that's totally not Kitsu and gave it an original outfit and maybe hypothetically made it a Futanari, it would be cool. Let's move on.
Orange cat? Yeah, they just got the best vibes. They eat a lot. You know, love to eat. A lot. Yeah, got it. You know, might be a little bit on the bigger side, but that's
What are they wearing? What do they look like beyond that?
So, you know, give them a top hat like a fedora. I want them to look classy. It's got great vibes. You know, we got to make sure the vibes are amazing. Yeah, I got the vibes.
The vibes are important.
Double on the vibes.
Beach light fedora, jumpsuit, trim claws. Okay. Can we give it like, let's give it 2 tails.
2 tails.
2 tails. Sure. Let's change it up. Sure. You know, give it like a cane maybe if you can.
We have a sort of large cat.
Oh, yo, he's
fedora,
classy.
Suit, a cane.
He's very
2
classy.
Tails, a monocle. Likes to eat a lot, he said. Blake, what is the name of your persona?
We're gonna name him Sparky.
Sparky.
That was an old nickname for me when I was growing up. I used to play with electrical cords for some reason, and I was a kid, all right? So my parents would call me Sparky.
There we have it. That is Blake's persona, Sparky. My persona.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Let's get into it.
Oh, shit.
So my persona is a proto-gen.
Lovely. Lovely. Oh, Lord. Needs motor all but wood. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.